Hello, AUSD families. My name is Denise Hadamil, Superintendent of the Alhambra Unified School District. It's hard to believe, but nearly 1 year ago today, the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus outbreaks to be a global pandemic. And with that declaration, we all experienced sudden and unprecedented changes to the world around us, changes that at the time we could not have even imagined. Yet here we are nearly a year later, and locally, we're seeing decreased case rates. We're seeing an increased supply and availability of effective vaccines. And together, that's opening the opportunity for us to begin seeing a light at the end of a very dark tunnel, and to begin thinking about returning our children to school. We all know that any return to school right now won't be what it was a year ago. But we know we can take meaningful steps to returning some level of normalcy and providing some good in-person learning opportunities that'll support our kids academically, socially, and emotionally. Very soon, you're going to be asked to make a decision for the remainder of your child's school year. You will be given the choice to have your child remain at home in distance learning until the end of this school year, or you'll have the opportunity to have your child come onto campus for a portion of their day for some in-person learning opportunities. Now, we know you're going to have a lot of questions, and we want to help you make an informed decision. So we've put together this video thinking that you might want to see many of the safety protocols that we've put in place to prepare for your children to return to school, as well as some information about the instructional program and the schedule. Please know that no matter what decision you make for your child, we're here to support you. And we will continue to provide a quality instructional program and services for your child. This has been a tough year. All of us have experienced a phenomenal amount of change. Many among us have experienced unbelievable loss. But together, we've watched a community pull together. And I have been so inspired by this Alhambra Unified School District. And I've seen examples of patience, grace, and resiliency. Examples that are models of important lessons that our children have learned. And I know that together we will continue to serve our children well. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your support of our school district. And I look forward to seeing you and your children very, very soon. Thank you.
Welcome to our presentation on safety measures for in-person learning, March 11th, 2021. Today's presentation is brought to you by Patricia Mahoney, Assistant Superintendent, Student Employee Welfare, George Murray, Assistant Superintendent, Facilities and Planning Development, Jim Schofield, Director, Student Employee Welfare, Lindsay K. Ma, Director, Student Employee Welfare, and Keith Kovach, Director, Facility Services. The presentation agenda for today is the State of California Blueprint for a Safer Economy and its impact on schools, LA County case rates, CDE/DPH health requirements, health screeners, Qualtrics, temperature screening. How will AUSD open schools safely? Signage, facilities, readiness for students and staff. The information presented in this PowerPoint is based on current Los Angeles County Department of Public Health mandates and/or recommendations. The COVID-19 recommendations and mandates are fluid and ever-changing.
In the summer of 2020, California adopted a COVID-19 color-coded tracking system. Based on the county in which individuals reside, the state would make recommendations and restrictions based on the widespread level of COVID-19 in each county. LA County has remained in the widespread color-coded tracking system mode, but very recently on March 9th, LA County met the metric for red. The case rate on March 9th, 2021 was at 5.2% per 100,000. That was a reduction from 7.2% from March 2nd, 2021. That's 2% less in 1 week. The case rate in LA County, Southern California is moving fast and in the right direction. The county meets the metric thresholds for red tier, and should the cases and test positivity rates remain at or below the red tier metrics next week, the county would move to the red tier on March 17th. Orange tier metrics are at 3.9%, 100,000. The district anticipates new health orders in the near future to guide schools for next steps.
The California Department of Education, along with the Department of Public Health, has requirements in order for schools to open safely. They must post the California Safe Schools for All website with the COVID safety plan, which consists of 2 elements: the COVID-19 prevention program, otherwise known as CPP, pursuant to Cal OSHA requirements, and the California Department of Public Health COVID-19 guidance checklist. Plans submitted to the local Department of Public Health officer and to the state school safety team. Schools must meet the following criteria. They must have face coverings and other essential protective gear required and enforced for staff and students. Our district will make available masks, goggles, shields, gloves, gowns, etc., and other PPE. Health screenings for students and staff, which is our Qualtrics system. A plan for how sick students or staff will be separated from others and sent home immediately. Healthy hygiene practices, the availability of hand washing stations and hand sanitizer, and encourage regular use and incorporate into the routines for staff and students. Signage must be posted regarding best practices for mitigating the spread of COVID-19. Next slide. Once schools open, students will be placed in a stable group and/or cohort. We must have a plan and process for each school to identify the trace contacts when there is a confirmed case. Each school must designate a person for the local health department to contact about COVID-19. We will enforce physical distancing, and that is how space and routines will be arranged to allow for physical distancing of students and staff. Students returning for general in-person instruction must be assigned to stable groups that maintain stable membership of students and instructors day to day and do not mix with other stable groups. A plan to immediately report a cluster of cases, 3 or more cases that are connected within 14 days to the Department of Public Health, and a plan or protocol for incorporating COVID-19 testing into the regular school operations. At a minimum, the plan should describe the strategy for ensuring access to testing for students or employees who are symptomatic or have a known or suspected exposure to an individual infected with COVID-19. We have 2 screeners in place, and these are mandated by Department of Public Health and the governor, and that's the Qualtrics Daily Symptom Screener. The visitor, who is the student or parent, and employees complete the Qualtrics Daily Symptom Screener at the school's point of entry. The visitor lists their email when completing the screener. The visitor enters their responses on the prompts listed in each screen. The visitor receives an approval to enter campus or a denial where they may not enter campus. When Qualtrics gives the visitor an approval, the visitor proceeds to the temperature screener at the site. The temperature screener is the second screener. The visitor, who is a student or parent, and employees show the approved Qualtrics symptom screener to the campus supervisor. The campus supervisor or designee uses a handheld thermometer to screen the temperature. If the temperature is normal, visitors proceed to enter the campus. Next slide. We have signage posted that messages and helps promote hand hygiene, face covering, and social distancing. Next slide. We also have posted signage from the Department of Public Health. And these are the 3 posters that are posted in places throughout campus. Lastly, we have floor decals that have been placed on the walkways at all schools. And it shows individuals how to stay 6 feet away from each other. It also determines the flow of traffic on that walkway. And it also tells people to wait here so that they can maintain social distancing. Facilities preparation will be presented by George Murray and Keith Kovac.
Thank you. The Facility Services Department has been working diligently on these COVID-19 mitigation measures. Classroom and office assessments have been completed to ensure physical distancing. Plexiglass partitions have been installed in all main offices. Ventilation equipment maintenance is ongoing to ensure optimal operation, such as HVAC units were cleaned, serviced, and adjusted to provide maximum outside air. High efficiency air filters rated as MERV 13 are installed in mechanically suitable equipment. Exhaust fans have been checked, repaired, or replaced to ensure proper air circulation, and portable air purifiers with high efficiency filters known as HEPA are available for offices and classrooms. Our custodial schedules will be modified to support in-person learning schedules, and quality control measures will be implemented to help ensure cleaning and disinfecting consistency. Hand sanitizing dispensers have been placed strategically throughout campuses and in every classroom that does not have a sink. Sanitizing supplies have been distributed for administration and teaching staff. Mr. Keith Kovac will now elaborate on some of these methods.
So on the left, you see a picture of some HVAC technicians servicing our equipment. This represents what our internal staff has been doing since last March. We've gone through and cleaned, washed, serviced all of our equipment. In addition to that, we are in process of hiring a certified HVAC company to ASHRAE level standards to give us an assessment of our air balance and the operation of all our equipment. Here's a depiction or a picture of the actual HEPA air filters that are available for every single classroom and every single office in the district. And like Mr. Murray said, high efficiency air filters are being installed or have been installed in all of our equipment that can mechanically suit that air conditioner. Next. This is a depiction of all of our cleaning supplies. We have a myriad of different sanitizing and disinfecting supplies. Disinfecting supplies are, for staff in custodial operation. We have sanitizing supplies that are available for teachers and students. This is a depiction of one of our portable hand sanitizing stations that are placed strategically throughout the campus. This is an example of one of our classrooms. These are cube mates that are set up. They're very lightweight and they're portable. They can be set up as an additional measure than physical distancing. The ones depicted above still have their protective coating during shipping, so they are clear. Below is an example of one of our main offices. We have plexi set up to protect staff. On the bottom left is an example of how we have used the geometry of the room and the desks to maintain 6-foot separation between students. This is an example of our custodial quality control measures. It's a combination of, analog paper checklists that have been installed or being installed in every single classroom office door, which the custodial team or the cleaning team will essentially initial what they've done and the frequency in which they've done it. And then there's a digital component where we have an electronic Google survey where our leadership positions and our senior custodians and our head custodians, they were periodically checking to make sure that these tasks are being done regularly. Bottom left pictures, this is the drinking fountains and the bubblers that we have throughout the campus have all been either covered up or disabled. And that drinking water should be sent, if possible, with every student. But if not available, the district will have drinking water available.
Okay, where do you find information about safety moving forward? The district is currently creating a designated page on the website for in-person learning opportunities and safety information. This information can be viewed at www.ausd.us. The district will also complete a translated Alhambra Unified School District 2020-2021 COVID-19 in-person learning safety plan and post on that same website page. Should you have school site specific questions about your child's school, please reach out to the principal at your child's school for more detailed information and questions about that site. That concludes our presentation on safety. Thank you very much. And we look forward to bringing our students back for in-person learning. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Janet Lees, and I am the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services. I will be sharing information on in-person learning as it relates to general education. Our priority is to maintain continuity of our instructional program as we transition to in-person learning for families who would like their students to be on campus for the remainder of the school year. The morning core instructional schedule will continue to be taught in a distance learning format, which means there'll be no change in that morning schedule. Your child's current teacher or teachers will continue to provide instruction. In-person learning will occur in the afternoon after lunch. Your child will have the opportunity for additional supports and learning through hands-on in-person experiences. In-person learning will be provided by certificated staff. Each school will give you more details about these in-person experiences. Let's talk now about the in-person learning schedule. The number of students that are coming for in-person learning will determine the number of days students will attend school. At a minimum, students will come to school after lunch for 2 days, either Monday and Tuesday or Thursday and Friday. It could be 4 days a week on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So let's look at some sample schedules by grade level so you get a better idea of what in-person instruction would look like. Before we do, let's talk about the color coding. So yellow is for distance learning. The aqua is for in-person instruction in stable groups. The students will be grouped into pods and will remain in the same pod for the remainder of the school year. Orange is for ACES, our after-school program. This will be available for those students who are coming to school for in-person instruction. This is a sample of a TK kindergarten schedule. So as you can see, distance learning instructional time in the morning will not change. The in-person experience will be from 1:30 to 2:30. You'll notice that there's a longer period of time for lunch. We want to start all of the in-person classes at all grade levels at 1:30. ACES after school care will be available from 2:30 to 6 p.m. Here is a sample of a 1st through 3rd grade schedule. Again, the distance learning program in the morning is from 8 to 12 and will not change. The afternoon in-person learning experience will start at 1:30 and end at 2:45 with an opportunity for ACES after school care from 2:45 to 6 p.m. Now let's look at the 4th through 8th grade schedule. That will start with distance learning in the morning from 8 to 12:20. The afternoon in-person experience will be from 1:30 to 3, followed by an opportunity to stay for ACES after school care until 6 p.m. This is the timeline and the next steps for implementation of in-person learning. You should have already received an email with a commitment form and a video of this same presentation. Please complete the commitment form, one per child, to commit to either distance learning or in-person learning for the remainder of the 2020-2021 school year. These forms are due by Sunday, March 21st. And please note that if you do not submit a commitment form, your child will remain in distance learning for the rest of this school year. The principals will then be very busy working with their staff to develop the details of the in-person learning schedule while ensuring that safety procedures and protocols are in place. Right after spring break, during the week of April 5th, the principals will communicate with families about the logistics, details, and schedule for in-person instruction. We will be transitioning grade level spans back onto campus, starting with our youngest students, our TK through 2nd grade students, on Monday, April 12th. Our 3rd through 5th grade students will begin on Thursday, April 15th, and our 6th through 8th graders will start back on Monday, April 19th. We are truly looking forward to having students back on campus, as well as our staff, and we'll be welcoming you back with air hugs and air high fives. Thank you very much.